Your soulmate's mother is looking for you right now. She just stopped the wedding. My beloved child. Somewhere between the wedding music beginning and the final vows being spoken, your soulmate's mother stood up and did something no one in that room expected. She stopped the wedding. Not quietly. Not with a nervous excuse. She walked straight toward her child and said there was one person they needed to find before anything could continue. That person was you. The room froze because almost everyone believed your chapter in this story had already closed. But she knew something they didn't. She had discovered a truth about why you and your soulmate were separated, and once she learned it, she couldn't sit there and watch another marriage happen without speaking. But here's the strange part, your soulmate had no idea what she had discovered. For days, their mother had noticed something was wrong. Your soulmate was preparing for a future that looked perfect from the outside, yet every time someone mentioned the wedding, their expression changed. There was hesitation behind the smile. A heaviness nobody wanted to question. Then, the night before the ceremony, their mother found something connected to you, something that completely changed the story she had been told about your relationship. Suddenly, conversations from the past made sense. Certain accusations no longer added up. And one person who had worked very hard to keep you away from your soulmate began looking suspicious. Don't skip, because what happened next wasn't simply a mother becoming emotional. She started asking questions privately, and one answer made her realize that your soulmate may have been pushed toward this wedding while still believing a lie about you. So when she stopped the ceremony, she wasn't asking everyone to wait because she disliked the person standing beside her child. She was trying to prevent an irreversible decision from being made before the truth could surface. Your soulmate stared at her and quietly asked, "Why are you doing this now?" She didn't answer immediately. Instead, she pulled out her phone, looked at something on the screen, and asked a question that made several people in the room suddenly uncomfortable. Who told you that they walked away from you? Your soulmate's face changed. Someone near the front immediately looked down. Their mother noticed. And that was the moment she became certain there was more hidden beneath this wedding than anyone realized. She stepped away from the ceremony, searched for your name, and began trying to reach you, but before she could make the call, someone grabbed her arm and whispered something that changed everything. The whisper came from someone your soulmate's mother never expected to hear from. Their voice was low and urgent. If you call them, everyone is going to find out what really happened. For a second, she simply stared at this person, trying to understand why contacting you would frighten them so much. Then everything clicked. This wasn't about protecting your soulmate from you. Someone had been protecting a secret from your soulmate. She slowly pulled her arm away and asked one simple question: "What exactly are you afraid they'll say?" No answer came. Just silence. And sometimes silence reveals more than words ever could. Across the room, your soulmate was watching closely now. The ceremony had been forgotten. Their eyes moved from their mother to the nervous face beside her, and for the first time, they realized this interruption might actually be about you. Then your soulmate did something nobody expected. They stepped away from the person they were supposed to marry and walked directly toward their mother. "Tell me what you found," they said. Their mother hesitated because the truth was heavier than she had imagined. She had uncovered evidence suggesting that a message supposedly sent by you, the message that convinced your soulmate you wanted nothing more to do with them, may never have come from you at all. Stay till the end, because that wasn't even the discovery that stopped the wedding. There was another message. One your soulmate had never seen. It had been sent during the exact period when they believed you had disappeared, and its words told a completely different story. You hadn't been cold. You hadn't simply moved on. You had been waiting for an answer that apparently never reached you. Your soulmate's face went pale as their mother explained this. Suddenly, old memories began rearranging themselves. The unanswered questions. The strange timing. The way certain people always seemed to know what you were doing before your soulmate did. "Where is that message?" they asked. Their mother opened her phone, but instead of showing it immediately, she looked toward the same person who had tried to stop her from calling you. That person was already backing away. Your soulmate noticed and demanded, "Did you know about this?" The room became painfully quiet. Then came a response nobody was prepared for: "You weren't supposed to find out today." Your soulmate stopped breathing for a second. Their mother tightened her grip on the phone. Because those words confirmed something much bigger than a missing message, and now she knew finding you wasn't just important. You might be the only person who could explain what had actually happened. Your soulmate's mother didn't wait for another explanation. She walked out of the ceremony with her phone in her hand, determined to find you before anyone could interfere again. Behind her, your soulmate followed, still dressed for a wedding that suddenly felt like it belonged to someone else's life. "Call them," they said, their voice shaking. But when their mother tried the number she had found, something unexpected happened. It didn't connect. She tried again. Nothing. Your soulmate immediately asked where she had gotten that number, and her answer created another disturbing question. It had come from an old family contact list. But beside your name was a note she had never noticed before. Someone had written, "Do not contact." There was no explanation, no date, and no name attached to it. That small note changed the entire atmosphere. Your soulmate stared at it as if they were looking at proof that their separation from you hadn't happened naturally. Who had decided you shouldn't be contacted? And why had nobody told them? Their mother began searching through older messages, looking for anything connected to your name. Then she found a conversation from months earlier between two relatives. Most of it seemed ordinary until one sentence appeared: "Once the wedding is confirmed, this problem will finally disappear." Your soulmate read it twice. "What problem?" they whispered. Their mother didn't answer because she was wondering the same thing. Then another message appeared beneath it, mentioning something you had apparently tried to return, a personal item your soulmate once gave you, along with a handwritten note nobody had ever delivered. That revelation hit your soulmate harder than anything else. They remembered that item immediately. It wasn't expensive, but it carried a private meaning only the two of you understood. If you had tried to send it back with a note, then someone had received something from you and deliberately kept it hidden. Your soulmate turned toward the wedding hall, no longer confused but determined. "I want that note," they said. Their mother followed them back inside, and this time nobody could pretend the ceremony might simply continue. She confronted the relative whose name appeared in those old messages. At first, they denied everything. Then your soulmate mentioned the personal item. Their expression collapsed. After several unbearable seconds, they admitted the item was still inside the house. But when your soulmate demanded the handwritten note, the relative whispered, "The note isn't here anymore. Someone took it this morning, and that person already left to find them." Nobody moved for several seconds. Your soulmate's mother stared at the relative and asked the question everyone was thinking: who took the note? The answer came reluctantly. It was someone closely connected to the wedding, someone who had spent months encouraging your soulmate to forget you and move forward. But why would that person suddenly leave the ceremony carrying your handwritten words? Your soulmate demanded their name, and when it was finally spoken, their expression changed completely. They knew exactly why this person might be looking for you. Months ago, they had been the first one to claim you wanted nothing more to do with your soulmate. Now the same person had disappeared minutes before the wedding was stopped. Your soulmate immediately reached for their phone and called them. Once. Twice. 3 times. No answer. Then a message arrived from an unknown number: "Don't come looking. There are things you still don't understand." Your soulmate showed it to their mother, but she noticed something else: the timing. The message had arrived seconds after the unanswered call, which meant whoever sent it probably knew exactly what was happening inside the wedding hall. Something huge was waiting beneath this secret. Your soulmate's mother suddenly remembered seeing that same person near a side entrance earlier, holding an envelope. At the time, she thought nothing of it. Now she realized the envelope might contain your missing note, and perhaps something else someone desperately wanted to keep hidden. Then the person who was supposed to marry your soulmate finally stepped forward. Until now, they had remained almost completely silent. Their face wasn't angry. It looked frightened. "There's something I need to tell you," they said. Your soulmate turned slowly, expecting jealousy or an argument. Instead came a confession: they had known about you before the engagement ever happened. Not every detail, but enough to know your soulmate still carried unanswered feelings. Worse, someone had assured them that you would never return because you had supposedly chosen another life. Your soulmate's mother asked who gave that assurance. The answer was the exact same person now missing with your letter. And then came one final detail: earlier that morning, that person had received a call, rushed outside, and said 6 words before leaving: "They finally found out about the letter." Those 6 words changed everything. Your soulmate no longer cared about explanations inside that room. They wanted to know who had discovered the letter and why that discovery had caused someone to run. Their mother searched the old family messages again while another relative checked recent calls. Then a name appeared that nobody expected: an elderly family friend who had quietly witnessed the beginning of your relationship. Your soulmate remembered this person because they had once defended you when others questioned your intentions. Their mother called immediately. This time, someone answered. Before she could even explain what was happening, the voice on the other end said, "I was hoping you would call. You need to hear what was hidden from both of them." The family friend revealed that months ago, you had personally handed over an envelope meant for your soulmate. You hadn't asked for anything dramatic. You only wanted the truth delivered because you believed your soulmate had suddenly chosen silence. But the envelope never reached them. Someone intercepted it and later claimed you had changed your mind. Your soulmate gripped the phone tighter. "What did the letter say?" they asked. The family friend paused. They didn't know every word, but they remembered one sentence because you had repeated it before leaving. "If they truly want me gone, I'll accept it, but I need to hear it from them." That sentence shattered the story your soulmate had believed. You hadn't abandoned them. You had been waiting for confirmation that never came. Then the family friend revealed why someone had taken the letter this morning. There was something tucked inside the envelope besides your handwritten note, a dated receipt connected to a meeting that supposedly never happened. According to the story your soulmate had been told, you had refused to meet them on that exact day. But the receipt placed you near the arranged meeting location, waiting. Don't skip, because this was the first piece of evidence showing that somebody hadn't merely hidden your feelings, they had carefully rewritten the timeline. Your soulmate's mother asked where the person with the envelope might have gone. The family friend gave her an address. Your soulmate recognized it instantly. It was the place where you and your soulmate had once promised that if everything ever became confusing, you would meet there and tell each other the truth face to face. And according to the family friend, someone was already heading there before you could learn why. Your soulmate didn't even change out of their wedding clothes. They headed straight for the door, but their mother stopped them long enough to say, "I'm coming with you." This time, she wasn't protecting a ceremony or worrying about what the guests might think. She wanted to face the truth herself. On the drive, your soulmate kept staring at the old messages on the phone, noticing details they had ignored for months. Every time you supposedly rejected them, the information had come through somebody else. Every time they tried to reach you directly, something interrupted it. Then their mother found one more detail. On the night your relationship truly fell apart, someone had deleted a call from the family phone records before your soulmate ever saw it. That deleted call had lasted nearly 4 minutes. Your soulmate stared at the timestamp and immediately remembered that night. They had waited for you, convinced you never tried to explain yourself. But if that call had actually been yours, then someone had spoken to you while pretending your soulmate wasn't available. Their mother called the number attached to the record, hoping it still belonged to you. This time, it rang. Once. Twice. Then someone answered, but neither of them spoke at first. A quiet voice finally said, "Who is this?" Your soulmate recognized you instantly. Their hand began trembling, but before they could say your name, another sound came through the phone. A car door slammed near you, followed by hurried footsteps. Your soulmate's mother leaned toward the phone and said, "Please listen to me. Someone may be coming to speak with you, but you need to know we found your letter." Silence followed. Then your voice changed. "What letter?" That question stunned them both. You explained that the original envelope had contained more than one page, and the handwritten note everyone was searching for wasn't the most important thing inside it. There had been a second sealed page meant only for your soulmate. Something you had never told anyone else about. Before you could explain what it contained, you suddenly stopped speaking. Someone had arrived where you were. Your soulmate heard a familiar voice in the background say your name, and their mother recognized it too. Then you whispered into the phone, "They're standing right in front of me, and they have the second page. Your soulmate told you not to hang up. Through the phone, they could hear the person standing in front of you trying to explain why they had taken the second page. Their voice wasn't confident anymore. They sounded cornered. "I thought I was protecting everyone," they said. But you asked the question that cut through every excuse, protecting them from what? The truth. Your soulmate's mother heard every word. Then the person admitted they had intercepted your letter months ago because they believed your return would destroy plans the family had already begun making. They had convinced themselves that separating you was temporary, that eventually both of you would move on. But when your soulmate's wedding became real, the hidden letter became dangerous because it proved the separation had been built on interference, not rejection. Then you revealed what was written on that second page. It wasn't another romantic confession. It was a record of everything that had happened during the final days before you disappeared from your soulmate's life: dates, missed calls, messages you had sent, and the names of people who had spoken to you on your soulmate's behalf. You had written it because the contradictions were becoming impossible to ignore. One person told you your soulmate needed time. Another claimed they never wanted to see you again. Yet hours later, someone else accidentally mentioned that your soulmate had been asking about you. You realized somebody was controlling what each of you heard. So you documented everything, hoping that one day your soulmate could read it and decide for themselves what was true. Your soulmate's mother whispered, "Read the last line." The person holding the page went silent. You already remembered it. Your voice softened as you repeated the words you had written months earlier. If you're reading this, then somehow the truth finally reached you. Your soulmate closed their eyes, overwhelmed by the realization that you had never stopped trying to give them that truth. But suddenly the person in front of you said there was something written beneath that line, something you hadn't written. A different handwriting appeared at the bottom of the page, along with a date from 3 days before the wedding. Your soulmate's mother demanded to know what it said. The person hesitated, then read it aloud. "They still don't know who actually started this." And beneath those words was a set of initials your soulmate recognized immediately. The initials belonged to someone your soulmate had trusted for years. Not a distant relative. Not someone standing quietly on the edge of their life. This was the person they had gone to after losing you. The person who listened while they cried, encouraged them to stop waiting, and eventually helped convince them that marriage to someone else was the only way forward. Your soulmate's mother went completely still when she heard the name. Then she remembered something chilling. That same person had been present the first time your soulmate was told you had supposedly walked away. They had also been the one repeatedly saying, "Don't contact them again. You'll only hurt yourself." What once sounded like concern suddenly felt like control. Your soulmate asked you to stay exactly where you were. Minutes later, they arrived with their mother, still carrying the shock of a wedding abandoned halfway through. The person holding your second page handed it over without another argument. Your soulmate read every line you had written. The dates matched. The missed calls matched. Even the meeting receipt matched the day they had been told you never showed up. Then their mother noticed something on the back of the page, a faint impression from whatever had once been written on top of it. Under the light, several words became visible. It appeared to be part of another note, written by the person whose initials had just been exposed. One sentence could still be made out clearly: keep them apart until the decision is made. Your soulmate looked at you, and for the first time in months there was no messenger, no relative, no hidden letter standing between you. Did you ever tell anyone you wanted me gone? They asked. Your answer was simple: never. Their eyes filled immediately, because that one word destroyed the lie behind every decision that followed. But their mother wasn't finished. She took a picture of the faint writing and sent it to someone back at the wedding, asking them to search through an old folder kept with the engagement documents. A reply arrived almost instantly: we found the original. Then another photograph, a